This episode is a pick and gut of the Ep4240 that I promised in episode 41. After gutting the lock, I'll show you an interesting quirk of the bitting that makes the highest cut pins behave like zero lift pins. Hey folks, welcome to Pugs Picks Locks. If you're new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I release new content like this. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, click that like button, and leave a comment or question down below. Did I get something wrong? Is there something I could do better, do differently? Please let me know. I want to learn from all of you to continue to grow my knowledge and skill set, and provide you with better and better content. Also, leave a comment if there's a specific topic that you'd like me to cover. Okay, let's start out with the shout out of the week. Pocket Woman is this week's shout out of the week. As I film this, she is sitting at 1,050 subscribers or so and deserves way more than that. Pocket Woman's channel features all things Locksport. She features picking, of course, but also tools, community engagement, giveaways, lock gutting, how to practice picking, and she provides glimpses into her life. We meet her farm animals and get to accompany her on rural explorations. Oh yeah, she also runs the Loto Lock Tuesday giveaway, so check her out, pick a Loto Lock, and give her a sub. Let's dive into this week's video. This Ep4240 was featured in episode 41 as part of a Loto Lock comparison where it went up against the Master Lock 410 and the Padlock PL410 Pro. There's a link in the description if you want to go back and watch that video. In that episode, though, I promised a separate pick and gut video for this lock as it has a quirk that makes pins 1 and 2 zero lift pins even though they have very high cuts on the key. If we take a look at this key, we can see that pins 1 and 2 are max lift. I mean, those are barely cut into the key at all. That should be a maximum lift as we're picking it. But instead, it behaves like a zero lift. Pins 1 and 2. We don't need to touch them. So to prove that we don't actually have to touch them, let's go ahead and pick this open. I'm using a top of the keyway pry bar in 28 thousandths and my pagoda hook from SouthOrd, my favorite pick. So we're going to start at the very back of the lock, so we're not going to touch 1 or 2. So we're on pin 6 right now, and we had a little bit of counter rotation and then a click. Now pin 5, little counter rotation and a click. Now pin 4, we touch it, we get a click. And now pin 3, we have a lot of counter rotation on 3. Trying to do it gently to avoid the overset. And then I think we lost pin 6. And no, there we go. And so we're open. I did not have to touch pins 1 or 2. Salvatore swivel. Okay, so let's gut this and have a look inside. So we're gonna standard Phillips head screwdriver. Not unscrewed all the way. There we go. Okay. I'm going to set the hull aside there. And so here we have, I am going to shim this. You know what? Let's lock it back up and put the key in. And then we're going to shim it up. And, okay. Okay, and so now we need to get that circlip off. So there's the circlip, and let's go ahead and get this shimmed up. Sorry for all the noise. Dig this shim out of here. There we go. All right. And let's grab our follower and get that. Okay. So let's dump the key pins. So we have pin 6, pin 5, pin 4, three, two's being stubborn. So let's drop 1. And there, that's pin 2. Okay, you see how tiny pins 1 and 2 are. So now let's get the shim out, and let's go after pin 6 first. Holding that upside down, that would have been really bad. It would have sent pins flying. Okay. There we go. So pin 6 is a spool. These are tiny, tiny little pins. Pin 5 is also a spool. Pin 3 is a spool. Pin 4 is a spool. And let's dump these 3 springs. That spring got caught in there. Okay. And flip it over, go after pin 1. Which is a standard pin. And then pin 2 is a spool. And then pin 3 is a spool. And we can dump those 3 pins. Get them where they need to be. So you can see that there's nothing special about the springs. And so we have standard spool, 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 spool. So all spools, 1 standard pin up front. Now here's the reason. I'm going to demonstrate why pins 1 and 2 are behave like zero lift pins. If I put the key pin in, if I can get it. Okay. if I put in the key pin for 1, I'll do 2 also. We'll get both of them loaded up because they're going to behave exactly the same. And then we drop in the driver pins on top of them. 1, and there's 2. You can see that it's flush. It's completely flush with the shear line. And this is why we don't have to set either pin 1 or pin 2. The core will turn with those pins never having been touched. If in order to show this maybe a little more clearly, we have this little kick cylinder, and I'm going to hold this up to the camera to make sure that the light and everything, that you get it instead of zooming in. So you can see that in all of the pin chambers in the Bible, you can see the driver pin, except for in pin chamber number 1, where it's just the spring in there. The key pin and the driver pin are both in the keyway. They're both trapped in the keyway, just like with our Abus. And here's the key for that little kick cylinder, that cutaway kick cylinder. And you can see that pin stack 1, that first cut is barely even cut into the key at all. It is barely present. So there you go. That is a pick and gut of the Abus 7240 with a quirky little bit of bitting. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, remember to drop a like and leave a comment or a question below. If you're new here, subscribe and ring the notification bell for more content like this. Until the next video, happy picking y'all.